What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode.
All right, retake.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of R&R. As always, I'm Logan.
I'm Ethan, and today we've got the Gen V 19X. Our friend Eamon went ahead and hooked us up with this to use it for this video. We wanted to kind of do a comparison of the 19X versus the 19V versus the Gen 6 to see what the difference really is. You guys will see that in the other video. We're kind of recording two videos today. So, yeah, thank you, Eamon. If you guys are in the Mid-Ohio area and you need to get a cut, go to Booksy, what is it, Chunk the Barber? Yeah, look them up. But anyways, so we put some rounds through it, kind of got a feel for it. Overall, I don't know if there's much of a difference between this and a Gen 5.
Gen 5 or 6?
5.
5.
I didn't really feel any difference. One of the main things I noticed is it doesn't have the ambi slide release like a Gen 5 has. Trigger feels good, feels like a Glock trigger. I'm saying a lot, but you know.
Range is a 5?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have shot a 5, but not much trigger time with it. But just kind of comparing these to, you know, the 6 with what we got. I mean, honestly, is it worth getting rid of this or keeping it, or however you want to do it, to upgrading to a 6? Personally, I mean, I don't think it is. You guys will see, you know, in some B-roll background footage, it's a Glock at the end of the day. Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's a Gen 1 or a Gen 6. They're all Glocks. I mean,
it's a Gen 4, it's a Glock 4619, or 4519, sorry.
I mean, it's a great gun. It really is.
Yeah, it shoots great. And what it comes down to is if you don't really care about like having an optics cut, some people don't. Yeah, the Gen V is just fine. The big differences I see with it that are negatives is it's not optics cut. It does not have the gas pedals, and it has it doesn't have the RTF2 finish that the 6 has. So I say the 6 has a better grip texture. Those gas pedals are nice for running the gun a little faster. As you guys can see in the video, I locked the slide to the rear so many times. I've been shooting Glocks literally my whole life. Completely unacceptable, but it happened. I'd say the benefits of it. It's got metal sights.
Yep.
The trigger on it is better than the Gen 6.
Yep.
So we were just kind of talking about this, the brake. This has got a classic Glock trigger feel. Right there's the wall. So wall, brake, reset. I'm a really slow. Very, very little creep. It just has like that, like breaking a glass rod kind of break. The Gen 6, I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but see that little bit of creep right there? A little mush. Still got a good audible reset. But like the mush is just, I would say the Gen V has a better trigger. Mind you, this gun has very few rounds through it. I believe this one does too. I would say out of the box, I do like the trigger on the Gen V better, but, and that might just be our sample. We've got a sample size of 1 as of now. I haven't got mine yet. But the trigger is objectively better on the Gen V. But I mean, as far as shooting hundreds of thousands of rounds through Gen 3 Glocks and shooting the same amount through a Gen 4 Glock and then getting some trigger time on the Gen 6 and some trigger time on the Gen 5, I'd say the Gen V is it's a solid gun. It was an in-between generation. Some people are speculating that it was kind of like a quick hodgepodge thrown out their gun to stop with the
switches and the California compliance
stop
stuff
with all the lawsuits and whatnot. I don't know if it is or it isn't. I would say this was probably the early stages of the Gen 6, and they pushed it out just to get something that wasn't didn't keep on getting them in trouble. And then, you know, a few months later they came out with the Gen 6. So yeah, I keep on, this a second or third time I've done that today. I keep on riding up the slide release for some reason. I don't. Adjust my hand a little bit. See, because on the Gen 6 and on the shadow system, it's got that gas pedal right there. So when I do that, it kind of keeps the gap right here. I'm kind of like trying to ride down. It's no excuse, just different gun. But I mean, the gun feels good. It feels like a Glock. To be honest with you, it's like a Gen 5 Glock. Yeah, I mean, it feels good. I wish I had the gas pedals. I'm willing to say if you've got a Gen V, it's probably not worth selling it to get a Gen 6. But if you want the optics cut, I don't think the V's came with an optics cut. So if you're cool with running iron sights, I don't know, seems all right. Seems pretty decent.
I mean, like I said, it's a Glock at the end of the day. You're still going to get your reliability. You know, you're still every time you pull it out, it's going to go bang. You know, it's not a bad gun by no means because it's still a Glock.
Yeah, I'd say the only thing I kind of saw with it is like Eamon, you guys will see in the video, he was running my Ragnarok holster, and I've got it set up on the tension screw for the shadow systems in a Gen 4. That was a little tight.
Yeah.
I'd say that's the one thing. I'm not sure what the reasoning is. I'm not saying it was unusable tight, but it was a little bit tighter than usual.
And it may have been too, could it be because the finish hasn't been worn off as much? Maybe, you know, even millimeters could be, you know, could cause that to, you know, when you're pulling out and your holster comes with it or whatever else. I mean, same thing with this. You guys will see when I go to draw, it kind of flares out with it and stuff, but just little knick-knack things that we noticed that wasn't really
things.
Yeah, nitpicky. That wasn't, it's not an end all be all type thing. You know, I mean, it's just us nitpicking, looking at certain things that us being dominant Glock shooters, we've just noticed over, you know, Gen 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, whatever, you know, everything that we've shot, just little nuances here and there that we see.
And that is one thing that you can say about Glocks is no matter what the generation is, people talk about how they don't really have that evolution. They don't really do anything revolutionary.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you got somebody like me or somebody that's like in law enforcement that's not really a gun guy or military or something. You can shoot a Gen 3 Glock and then pick up the Gen V and it's going to shoot the same.
Yeah.
Like everything's going to feel the same. Battery arms the same. You know, grip angle's the same. Like you're going to be able to shoot it.
Yep.
There's going to be a few nuanced differences, but when it comes down to it, it's a Glock.
Yep.
You know? So this is supposed to be like the, you know, military version of the 45, Glock 45. But yeah, it's a great gun. I mean, it's a Glock. If you have one, and I wouldn't go trade it in to get a Gen 5 or Gen 6 correction. I mean, if you already have it, you really want an optic, send it off to somewhere reputable like Monsoon Tactical or somewhere like that. Have them mill it out for whatever optic you want to throw on there. And while they've got it, ask if they can do a stipple job and just put some gas pedals on it. You know what I mean? Anybody with a Dremel can do it. Yeah, do an undercut, put the stippling on there for the gas pedal, and you're good to go. It's going to run you just fine. But yeah, it's a great gun. It works in all the holsters. It ran 100% except for me because I kept on riding up the slider release like a noob. But
like I said, having this out here, it is nice to be able to have, you know, buddies and stuff to where we can get different firearms on the channel. You know, I know it's not an old firearm by no means. You know, it's not like we're reviewing a Gen 3 or Gen 4 or you know whatever else. So it's still a relatively new in the gun realm. And I know there is a big debate right now, which, like I said, we will have a separate video on that. It might be out before or after with, you know, is it worth trading in my 19V for a 6, or is it even worth it, or whatever else. That video we will be more in depth going over, you know, ergos, trigger, whatever it may be.
yeah,
but for this gun as a standalone gun, us having, what did we put through? Probably 200-300 rounds.
yeah,
today?
not much, but enough to get a good feel for it.
But it is a great gun. If I had bought that before, you know, the 6, by no means would I have traded it in or try to sell it to get the 6.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I probably would have tried to get the 6 just to have the newest and, you know, the newest and latest anyway.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, for a channel or whatever.
For content.
But for the gun wise, by no means would I switch it out. I said I know it's a big, I don't want to say big, but it's a little of a hot topic. You know, they're talking about, you know, what's the difference? You know, why did they come out with this when then they came out with like the 6 months later or whatever it may be? But
it wasn't even 6 months. I believe the V came out in November. The six dropped in January.
Yeah, so
I
what,
believe.
2 months?
Yeah.
So 2 months.
We could be off a little bit on that. Don't, you know, roast us too bad. But
yeah, like he said too, with the whole California compliance thing, I know when Eamon bought this, it came with 3 Glock mags, but they were double stacked mags, but they were only 10 round capacity because it was a California compliant firearm, which, you know, but it is what it is.
Eamon also got this right as the Gen 6 were dropping, so there was very few Vs left because they stopped production on the Vs when the 6 came out. So that was probably all that was left was through Lipsy's or Sport South or something like that, it being a California compliant one. But I mean, we ran today with a bunch of Magpul mags.
Yeah.
You know, even if that's the only thing you can get is the California compliant one, go out there and snag yourself a handful of the 17 round Magpul mags and you're good to go for $10-12 a mag.
Yeah, because no matter what, even if it is a California compliant firearm, it's still going to take double stack
Yeah,
mag. You know what I mean?
it's still the same gun. It just, we live in a free state.
Yeah.
So I would say in saying that, remember, if you guys want a good steel target, head over to challengetargets.com and use the code RR10 at checkout to get 10% off your entire purchase. If you are in the Mid-Ohio area and you want to get a cut by arguably one of the best barbers in the area, go ahead and check out Chunk the Barber on Booksy. And Frosty the Snowman is a keyword, so make sure you are subscribed to the channel. You've pressed like on the video and you've commented Frosty the Snowman, but you got to be subscribed to both channels, Reloads and Reps and Daily R&R. And that'll get you guys in for the drawing for the Benchmade bug out. We're giving out 2 of them, 1 per channel. So make sure you guys do that if you've made it this far.
Anyway, we'll go ahead and wrap this up so we don't get too super duper long-winded. But yeah, just make sure you do have that notification on so you do know every time that we post a video or short or anything in between. Make sure you do hit like, comment, subscribe, and as always,
We'll see you guys next time through Daily Dose of R&R.
See you guys.